Yeah, man. You know, but I think we back. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if we back. I know the data's sending right now. Let me see here. Look like we good on Twitter, and I think we might be back up here on YouTube. But we can just go ahead and continue the conversation. My bad. The last thing you were saying prior to this ish nuking itself. Vosh, go ahead.
What if the offense is your Yeah. Basically, look, I hate it, but I just want to know where you at, and I kind of know where you at. We just having a conversation. What if offense is your run defense? Like, what if that's the direction they going in? I'd hate it, but I just wonder if they just thinking that maybe they don't need a top tier one tech kind of guy because they plan on putting points on the board.
Yeah, the only reason why I kind of, oh my God, that is because we've seen that before. We've seen them play into that with was it Kellen Moore was here with Dan Quinn. We obviously emphasize, hey man, let's pin our ears back, get after the quarterback, get up on them, and that was our game. But what happens when we can't do that? And what happened was we got our face punched in every single time, just about. So, I hope that's not the thought process. I was a bit shocked they waited till day 3. I can't remember where you stood on somebody. I know you like Talik Williams, so you definitely were looking to get somebody early. When I did my mock draft 1 point only, I took a defensive tackle, I think the second round. I think we might have traded a pick and got 2 second-round picks. So I was all in on getting a difference-making defensive tackle early in this draft. When they waited so late and also didn't sign a guy in free agency, I was like, this is an interesting thought process. This is an interesting way to go about this thing, knowing that you have not historically been great at this position over the last, decade?
Okay, so now this is .com Vosh for sure. I heard allegedly that they were wanting to go D tackle, but they got Rico Dowdle running back. You know what I'm saying? Like all the ones they wanted was just gone by the time we got to round 2. And now they was like, oh well, if we in round 2, Donovan's way higher than the next guy. Round 3, okay, Rebel's way higher than the guy that we got right here at D tackle. So it just ended up being that way. I don't know how Toia kept dropping, because I know that they were high on Toia, but they were also high on like Blue and James. Like they traded up to get James. You know what I'm saying?
Traded up. I hope that James thing. I hope that James thing is not the cornerback Eric Scott situation. Remember we traded up in the 5th round and just never came to fruition. That would seem like a random trade up target.
I hate that too. Yeah, I hate that too. And the only way I could be positive about that is that you have a linebacker whisperer here. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So in my mind, take the dude that got traits, and he may not be doing all the linebacker stuff great, and give him to the linebacker whisperer and let him do magic on him. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's facts. Are we good, chat? My bad, man. I apologize for all this. All right, we straight over here, bro.
It's okay.
But yeah, man.
It's okay, man. Shot not A to Z did that, man. That's why they
right, exactly.
That's why you shit acting funny.
I ain't finished it. That's not no free publicity for that, bat. No free publicity.
Okay. Them motherfuckers they didn't use AI instead of the virus over here. They just said the AI virus over here. But anyway, man. Said we good, but I didn't have nothing, man. I just wanted to pick your brain on that, bro. I think these 7th round one techs that only play first and second down, I think by the time they get in year 2, they're more likely to have the impact you need from them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think Justin Rogers is going to be a roll around and die guy. I just got a lot of faith in like 7th-round tackles. Like I got faith in undrafted tight ends. Like we just got room here for those guys. And if Peanut Butter Justin Rogers, as long as he's healthy and strong and he's moving well, and that's what he was at Auburn, I think he'll have a good camp. But I won't believe shit till shit happens.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is I think you're the first person to kind of lobby for Justin Rogers, so that'll be interesting. That's something I'll definitely monitor for sure.
I want DJ Reader. Don't get me wrong. Look, Justin Rogers can go if we can get D. I can't get his ass off the bread for DJ Reader, but I don't think we get DJ Reader. So now I got to start hoping for shit. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you, bro. I feel you. Hey, look, bro, I appreciate you calling in, fam. We'll wrap.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love you, bro. Appreciate it.
Much love. Love you too, bro. That is the Voch Lombardi. I call from .com, Crown Global Media, Voch Lombardi Live, etc., etc. If y'all not following me, come on. What are you doing? But he did bring up one of my guys. when we talked about, I mentioned it earlier, I teased it until my damn stream shut down, but it's all good. Got 2 veterans, and he brought up one. And if you go and watch the original video I made, what was it, back in a few weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, DJ Reader is a guy that I do think could be a dude that comes in here and improves your run defense. I do think he's a needle mover. Do I think he is the Dexter Lawrence of the world? No, but I think he's been a consistent A-gap enforcer for years. That's what he does. And there's 2 sides to that. We talked about this, right? Like, they drafted a first-round defensive tackle that does the things he does. They signed a guy who I think was like top 10 in A-gap snaps, and so was DJ Reader. But from, I think it was Roy Lopez from the Cardinals, they have a pretty deep room. Now, the only problem is Alim McNeil is out with an injury. So they probably need him. But if not, they could save some bread by trading or cutting him. So, he's a guy I'd pick the phone up for, or at least monitor to see if, hey, man, maybe, just maybe, they're going to cut him. Which, again, I doubt they'll probably cut him. And you have a shot at a guy like DJ Reader. Granted, this is more my dream. I don't know that that's realistic. However, they gave me a little hope by trading, 4 different trades this offseason, but the big one being George Pickens. So they have told me, yeah, we didn't go out and get one of our biggest needs in the draft, but we went out and addressed it in the trade market. Could that be the same thing that happens with defensive tackle? Now, there's another name. Not nearly as big. I highly doubt you'll even hear of this guy. And to be fair, neither did I. But what I did was I said, look, man, I don't like the free agent market. There's not anybody in free agency that really does it for me from what, just period. So I've been looking around for like possible trades or guys that could possibly be cut. And that's how I came about DJ Reader. In a way, also, there was an article that came out and I looked at that article, made me go look more into Reader. But this guy might be like, huh? And trust me, I was like, huh, myself when I went and looked, but in a different way. Uwazurike, defensive lineman in Denver. Now, who the hell is Uwazurike? Former 4th-round pick of the Denver Broncos in 2022. Was suspended for gambling. So he out there trying to get his bread, but the wrong way. Come on, big dog. You can't be. But he got suspended in the 2023 season, but he was reinstated last year. Okay, so he was drafted under a different regime, suspended under a totally different one, and brought back. 6'6", 320 pounds, so he fits that size length profile that Flus likes. Primarily played as a 5 tech under Vance Joseph, right? 3-4 scheme, but he lined up, he does defensive tackle things. I do think he can handle interior things under White Cotton. And I think he fits, not just from a size and length standpoint, but a demeanor and play style. Now, he doesn't have a huge sample size because he got suspended his second year. Didn't play a whole lot last year. I think like 5 games. So it was easy for me to go watch every single last one of his run snaps. And let me say, impressed. I was impressed. Cowboy Nation. I thought his film looked better than Mazi Smith. I do. 6'6", 320. Pretty quick. Pretty active. He plays with that maturity I talked about, right? That know-how. And I think it makes a lot of sense because my man was like a 6-year player out of college. He came into the league a grown-ass man. He didn't come into the league a 21-year-old. He was like 24, 25 or something like that. So he already came in with the maturity to his game. And I thought I saw that last year on film. You ain't see him getting thrown out the club a whole lot. You barely saw him getting moved too. Doesn't have a whole lot of mileage because he got suspended. He only got 220 something snaps. So again, small sample size. Well, Sky, how was he available? Well, once he got suspended, bro, I think he kind of got into the doghouse with that regime. They went up and they traded up in the 3rd round for the LSU kid. I forget his name. So there's a possibility, you know, that kid's going to play more of the 5-tech role. And if you go look at their depth chart, he's kind of buried a little bit. So there's a chance they could just cut this guy. There's a chance they could look to move him, but he seems to be buried a little bit. He's got 2 years left on this deal. Because he was suspended, he didn't. What's the term there? It's like a league year. So the suspension kind of works in his favor from a contract standpoint, or a team's favor. But is it Iyuma Uwazurike? Go check him out. Go check him out. I think you'll come away impressed. I'm not saying, again, this isn't a needle mover. No. He's not a Chris Jones or nothing like that. But what I do think he could do, he'll come in here and he'll improve the depth of this defensive line. In fact, if I were to trade for this guy or sign this guy, I think he'd be better than Mazi Smith today. Just based off of what I saw. Now, Mazi Smith may have a higher ceiling if he can reach that. But based off what I saw from last year, I think he comes in and he does some of those things that Flus likes. He has the length. He's much quicker at the snap. He plays very powerful, and he has a motor. He's going to play till his lungs are on fire. Where I talked about Jay Toia is not a guy that's going to get down the line of scrimmage with you know, because he's a big dude. That's not the same for this guy. This guy can kind of move laterally. He can line up on the outside, not that you want him to, but if you do some odd front 3-tech or odd front 3-4 things, he can play the 5. That's primarily what he did anyway. So what I'm not trying to do here, y'all, is act like this guy's the next coming. I'm just looking for improvement. Hallelujah, says Sky making Madden play. I promise you, go look him up, man. It's available. Where my other button at? Well, I can't press that one because y'all don't know. Y'all got to go actually watch this guy. I actually got to watch this guy. So, Iyuma Uwazurike, a name you have not heard of, but go check him out. Will, as in Will McClay, pick up that phone up. I'm not saying pick up the phone and call him to trade, but call him and say, hey, what y'all thinking about? What y'all think? Or call his agent. What they talking about over there? We need help. So there you have it, Cowboys Nation. Kind of diving in on this defensive tackle room. Let's be real. It's a lot of question marks. A lot of question marks with this room. I don't think you question Osa. I don't even really think you question Solomon Thomas because you know what he is. But everything else is a question. Even a guy like Jay Toia, who I really love this prospect, especially as a day 3 guy. But again, he's a rookie. We don't know. Tommy Akinbasote, rookie. Justin Rogers hasn't played a single snap in the league yet. And then obviously the big one, Mazi, where I think is the linchpin if they roll with this unit. If I had to guess right now, I don't think they will. But if they do, I will say this. If they roll with this unit, best believe it's because Mazi Smith is going off. And that's exactly what we want. Who in the blue hell? That's exactly what we want. We want Mazi Smith to snap, man. We need Mazi Smith to snap. Edward said, Will, how do we get Reader? I kind of talked about this a little bit. If it wasn't for the injuries, I think Reader could be a guy they look to save some money with because they brought in a guy who plays where he plays in Roy Lopez. They drafted a first-round defensive tackle, and they have Aleem McNeil, plus a plethora of DTs behind them. They're pretty stacked at defensive tackle in Detroit, so they probably could look to just cut him. Or trade him. But that's probably how you have to do that, where you probably have to give up a day 3 pick or hope that they cut him. Now, I don't know. I don't think they're probably going to do it because I forgot about Aleem McNeil being hurt, to be honest. Totally forgot. But hey, let me say this. We'll give you Mazi. You give us these. Take the trade all day. There you go. All day. All right, let's get back to the horns, man. Let's talk to Toxic Tom. What's good with you, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Sky? Good to have your live show back again.
Thanks, bro.
Loved your Cowboys collective. I love that show. Especially when John Machota gets all negative about everything, you know?
Hey, John be putting on that shiesty. You know what John is? John is your spirit animal. That's what I think is happening, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, he's from Lower Peninsula, Michigan, in the Detroit area. Yeah, he's not about that bullshit. That's what I love about John Machota. He'll spit it. He'll give you a buck every time.
Hey, let me say this too. Behind the scenes, I met John once before we did the collective down at camp, and I thought, oh man, cool dude. Now, obviously, I engage with him a lot more, and I'm like, hey, don't get it effed up. John Machota, not like let me say this, and this is all due respect. That ain't Michael Gelkin, bro. I'm just saying that ain't Michael Gelkin. John Machota, behind the scenes, okay, yeah, he from Detroit. he from Detroit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I do some business out with some people from the Lower Peninsula, Detroit, and they're funny as shit, man. They're rugged as hell. Anyway, I talk about that all day. And I will say this, the defensive tackle room has been the blinking red light for decades now, it feels like. That I think the blinking red light finally burnt out because it just never got fixed. And leave it to the Cowboys. I loved the Mazi pick, but of course, the one time we invest legitimate draft capital in a guy, it's a dude that can't even eat a Snickers bar, wants to lose weight, just doesn't even love football. It just sounds like he loves to hit people. It's like, of course, the one time we get serious about this position, we get this guy. And it just, this positional group, it always drives me mad during draft season. I hear people, this year was team trenches versus team weapons. Okay. You even brought it up. Why is it that usually the team trenches people only bring up the offensive line? The defensive line is part of the trenches too, and it has been ignored ad nauseum for how many years? It's just, you put it the best way. Maryland. We get cereal with no milk. We get Xbox with no subscription, Brazzers with no premium package. We just don't get the whole thing. Like, I want it all. And I'm with you when it comes to Mazi. I would send that allergic peanut bastard anywhere if it meant I get to be better. I don't care about anything else. I want to win. And I don't know what it is about our fan base. Like, why are we so scared of trying to get better? It's uncomfortable, yes. But like I said in the past, you gamble. I love to gamble.
Hey,
if I legitimately go ahead.
I play cards. I don't gamble when I'm at that poker table. That's how I look at it. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I love to look at it as, if I think I have a damn good hand and I have a legit shot of taking that pot, I am not going to sit back and go, well, if I miss, and, well, I want comp picks, and what about, no, like, if you have a chance, go and get it. And I'm not banking, and hope isn't a plan. I'm not banking on an Ozempic defensive tackle and hoping that he can get me. No, fuck that noise, man. And you look how contenders move and look how we move. The Eagles, I hate the Philadelphia Eagles, but, man, you know that if Mazi Smith were a Philadelphia Eagle, that dude would have been shipped off to the USFL or some Kimu shop somewhere else, and they would have brought someone else in and paired him with bona fide, legitimate defensive tackle starters. And the people who say, well, this isn't Madden, you need to look outside. It's to take your homer hat off. You need to look how other teams move and start looking at how we move too. Because moving and giving Oso Odigizua and bringing him in and saying, hey, we're going to pay you, and then giving him a bunch of non-playable characters and seventh day 3 picks from University of Phoenix and DeVry, hoping that they can get us over the hump. It's not going to work.
Damn.
This is the one positional unit that I think, since we invaded Iraq, has never been a legit full unit. We've had good guys here and there, but you never pair them with anything else. And then we wonder why our linebackers break down. And then we wonder why can't we stop the run? It's because you went the cheap route. And I've said this in the past, and I'll say it here too. It's just like, go ahead.
Ain't no way in hell. I fool with you, Ty, but you lying. He just said Mozzie's better than Jordan Davis. You out your mind. I take Jordan Davis right now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think twice. If they want to take Mazi for Jordan swap, I bet you they wouldn't do it. I'm sorry. That just kind of blew me right there. What? No way.
No way. I'm at the point where if you don't show me anything, Mazi, I would rather just not waste snaps on you. I'm at that point with you. This is year 3.
Man,
what have I
the
seen?
Stats.
And I
Look
don't.
at the film. You know what? Ain't no way you watching Philly and looking at Jordan Davis and looking at Mazi. You're like, yeah, give me Mazi over Jordan Davis. You out your mind. Call into the show. Let's talk.
Yeah, I'll hop off the air so that way he can call in. All I'll say is this. Once you're in the league, I don't give a shit where you were drafted. It's a sunk cost.
Yeah.
I care about on film. Are you good enough to get me over the hump? If it's no, cut sling, get the weakness out of here. That's all I have to say. Y'all have a lovely day.
That's a good point, brother. That's a good point. I don't care where you're drafted at. If it's a sunk cost, it's a sunk cost. Or opposite end, right? Like, I don't care where you're drafted at. Jay Toia, Tommy King Basote, Justin Rogers. If you show that you can be a difference maker over a guy drafted higher than you, should be playing. Put Mazi by Carter, bro. Y'all. Thank you, Dro. That's what I don't think people understand. Dro said Mazi had on roller skates for the past few years. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. There are, whatever you want to call, there are mechanical issues, technical issues that this kid has right now that you hope improves in camp and going into the season. I don't care if you put him next to Aaron Donald. If you come out high from your snap, you're getting moved. If you want to play stinky leg on one leg, you're getting moved. If you the last dude off the snap, you're not making an impact. There are things individually with Mazi Smith. I don't care who you put him next to. He has to improve those things, man. That's just facts. And if he does, bro, then we're cool. But I've never seen a tackle hop little bunny, hop so much that allegedly weigh 330 some pounds. You could put Mazi's film, overlay it to Miss Rachel, hop little bunny, hop, and just Mazi Smith on repeat. But I'm not lying. That's how you know I got a little 1-year-old in the house, man. Miss Rachel got that. She getting on my guy. You know what? She ain't getting on my nerves, but the songs is getting on my nerves. And let me stop. I just don't do that. That's all I'm saying. Whoa. Hey, yo. Hey, B Fatty, look, you could call me whatever you want to call me and things like that, but you on some real strange, weird shit in this chat, bro. I ain't one. Oh, hold on.
It's a problem. I'm outside.
No. He said something earlier. Whatever about that dude. But this is that's strange. I don't even want to repeat that, but I'm surprised you ain't been sniped yet. But you gotta relax, guy. Relax, B Fatty. Relax.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, D Fatty.
Call it another man, grown man having a sexy voice. Like, relax, my guy.
Wow.
Relax.
Wow.
Anyway, go ahead, bro.
That's crazy. Oh, pause.
He definitely a troll. We definitely a troll. Hallelujah, but relax.
Yeah, B. I'm gonna need you to fall back, B. We don't play like that over here, relax. Man. I don't know what channel you coming from. What's this kid named B Fatty?
Yeah, I'm starting to be a little bit concerned with the fatty part, man. Relax. Relax. Go ahead.
Yeah. I be Fatty, B Diddy, or whatever your name is, Playboy.
Wait.
Look,
B
man,
Diddy, relax.
That's B Diddy right there.
Go ahead, VIP.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave Baby Oil alone, man. But all right, but I'm gonna need Vach. Vach, if you out there, I know you listening. I need you to put these 3 players on your radar. I want to know what's good with Marquise Best. What's Gucci with my guy? I want to know what's good with Wanye. This the future to me, that's the future of our back end. I love, don't get me wrong.
We can't say that with
I'm
be
not mad
fatty
at
in
the
the chat.
Hitman. I love the Hitman.
We can't be talking about back ends with be fatty in the chat. We can't do that no
more.
Oh,
yeah, I forgot Be Fatty and Baby Oil.
In the secondary, we got it. You're right, though. Yeah, for sure. We need to know because they could potentially be part of the future back there, yeah.
Big facts. So that's because I watch, like I said, I like Hitman, but I watch good teams, expose him in the backfield. I know you watched it too. I watched this dude trailing tight ends, and I mean he's good in the box, but I think he gets exposed once they start, putting.
You talking about when he was at
making
linebacker?
Him cover. Yeah, no. When I'm saying when Wilson, when Donovan, when he's got to cover.
Donald, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Hitman. When I'm talking about Hitman home, when he's got to cover somebody, I see him exposed. That's why I like Bell. That's why I like Wanye, and that's why I'm asking Vox. Vox was Gooch. Are they getting that first team reps like I think they should? I mean, I love 2-8. 2-8's that guy, but we got to get somebody groomed in behind him, and definitely somebody behind my guy. So those are my 2 players I want to watch on defense. On offense, I heard. Now this is just what I heard. The backup tight end that we picked up last year, I think he was the
Brevin Spanford.
Yeah, stand for home. I heard y'all seen pictures of flicks of this kid. No Diddy, but I heard home looking right, man. Y'all don't go wild, Slurpy Diddy, but I heard home looking right, man.
Yeah. I mean, he got some good film too, especially as the year improved. Last year he was kind of one of my pet cats as undrafted free agents. Every year one of those guys usually make it. This year might be a little tougher, but he eventually made the team as tight end 3. And one of the questions I had going into right when the season was over, one of the first kind of battles I was talking about was, hey man, can Brevin Spanford take over this tight end 2? And then moving forward, we'll see what happens at tight end 1. But I definitely think that's Ferg's spot unless he's not here next year, 2026. What's 2026? Yeah, 2026. But yeah, Brevin Spanford I think can definitely push for tight end 2. But I'll say this, I think they're going to run a lot of 13. So either way, you're going to need all 3 of these tight ends.
Right. That's what I'm thinking too. Facts, because I see we're gonna be about that run life, and I like that. But like you said, what Mazi brings to the table, I think that might be the straw that makes the camel back. If we don't have that D tackle, that real D, that real one, that I really think we still asking for the same problems we had last year. And the fact that we didn't address it, I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm smoking the hopium that June 1st there will be some cuts. And I know how Jerry liked to shop June 1st, so that's all I'm praying on a D tackle. Cause I really don't see us going. You think we're gonna trade again? I mean, look, hey, I'm around for it.
Hey, dog, they done traded 4 different times, so it's possible. But I think you're right, though. I think if anything, it's more so signing a free agent, waiting for cuts. But here's the thing, like I said, you don't have to trade any more draft picks if you don't want to. You can move players too, and we've seen them do that in years past. Now it didn't work out, right? I remember specifically on draft day, I want to say they just flat out traded defensive tackle for Tavon Austin. I want to say they traded Travarius Ward for an offensive guard. That didn't work out. The Austin one worked out though. But yeah, I've seen them trade players for players. So maybe they do something like that. They package a player, to get another player if they don't want to wait for cuts. But it seems like they will wait for cuts.
And I know, because how our ideology is at the Joneses. We love our people. So I know they love to be right. So they want to make sure they draft picks is right. What's the kid, the D tackle that we picked up? Ty. What's kid name? He looked like he could be Samoan or something.
Oh, Jay Tohia.
Tohia, yeah, that's all. What he looking like in OTs right now.
Well, let me just say this: you can't. I said this on the collective. We won't be able to know what any of these offensive linemen or defensive linemen look like in OTAs because they're not hitting. So there's not much it's not much you can really gauge from these guys except for, well, how are they being deployed? Are they lining up with the ones? Are they lining up next to Micah? Are they not? Things like that is where you can gauge the most from these dudes, but not physically. This is impossible to tell because they're not allowed to hit until we get to camp. So you'll hear most about Toia and everybody, this whole entire room. You'll hear more about once we get to camp and then the preseason.
And when does camp officially start? In July?
Yes. I don't want to, from what I've been told, towards the end of July. Yeah.
Okay. So we won't know nothing to that. All right. Well, that's my question, Sky. But just know, like, all you Diddy, all you Slurpees, all you baby oiling Diddy lovers, bro, I'm out here for my guy, Sky, man. So I'm telling you, bro, keep it professional with my guy. Don't have me pull up on you.
No
cool,
Man.
Diddy.
We cool, man. Appreciate you, big dog.
It's all love, man. And shout out to Vox. I want my last question for Vox.
Yeah.
I want to say congratulations, and I want to ask him because when I got to work for a major radio station and got to be like, damn, man, I get to go behind backstage, woo, woo, woo. It ain't really what it's cut out to be, B. So I want to ask Vox, did he have that same experience with the Cowboys? Because I know once we get in, like, man, once I got in and got to meet people like Beyonce and 50 and party with these people, I'm like, damn, man, they just regular people. Like, I think some people put these people on a pedestal and don't realize, like, they bleed just like us. So that's what I want to ask Vox. Do he get that same feeling that I got after stepping over that threshold? So, and shout out to Vox, man. He ain't going Hollywood. Cut all that and shout about my guys. I rock with home too, man. So, Sky, you know what it is. Pow, damn, Cowboys. I ain't a killer, but don't push me, B.
VIP. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. I'll say this. Having stepped back there a few times, even before Vox got there, we've had these conversations with many of different people about, things ain't what you think from the outside. The Dave Hellmans we've talked to, some people that's still there in that building. Yeah, but I mean, it's still, regardless. At the end of the day, what he's doing is beyond their brand, right? Just look at it from Vox's lens. Like, what he's doing for our community is so massive. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like, it's not probably what many think behind, or not behind the scenes, but on the surface. And that's everything in my opinion. I think everything is that way. But nonetheless, man, I can't wait till he gets down there in camp for a little bit, give us some inside info from a different perspective than we were used to seeing down there. All right. Appreciate T-Jack, hallelujah, mostly peaceful. I don't know what's happening. Nichols, Big Dow, Ghostface received a membership gift from Bomb Squad Insider. So shouts out to those rocking. I did send a message yesterday to some of the BSI members, giving y'all the rundown on what's happening this week. Appreciate y'all. All right, last call. We'll get back to the chat. You gotta wrap the Magic City Marv. What's good with you?
What's up, fam? How you been doing, man?
Very, very good, man. Very good. How about you?
I'm good, man. Watching y'all shows and doing everything. It's like my man say, all that is the same. They just like us. Because, I work in the entertainment business, so I meet all them knuckleheads.
Yeah, I used to do the same. When I did promotion, I did something very similar. You're right. People were except Diddy. We hear what it's like with Diddy.
Met his son, all that. Hey, come to the after party. No, not me. I don't do after party. It's a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? No, I ain't doing that. And then I worked for the Grizzlies in Canada when I worked in Vancouver, Canada.
Oh, word? I met. Hey, Marv, a Renaissance man.
Yeah. I lived in Vancouver for like 17 years, Vancouver, Canada. I used to run the business there. Then I moved to L.A. Needed some hot weather.
Hey, Dre said, "Freak off, Marv." That's crazy. What's on your mind, though, Marv?
Oh man, just checking you out on the thing. I like that big detail you came with from Denver. I gotta give you credit. Remember, I said you be doing your homework. I like that.
I tried, brother. I tried.
You be doing, yeah. That's
Oh,
the way they do things. But remember, I said when I went to that camp. Remember, I told that Rogers dude. I don't know what happened, but he beat out Mazi, y'all. You should have heard me, like, when they was in practice, and I'd be walking over, and they was training and training. I said, Big Rogers from the SC, Big Rogers gonna make this team, y'all. Big Rogers,
I remember
a beast.
you were saying that. Yeah.
And the coaches was looking. Hey, the coach was looking. And he beat out Mazi, y'all. He beat out Mazi, but it was like you said. Still, they was doing that favoritism. And then, it's like you beat me out. You say, what the hell? I beat this dude out. And they still.
So, Marv,
the guy was frustrated.
That's the thing. It is very interesting what happened there. I'm not going to. I don't know if he beat him out or not. That's your opinion, and I respect your opinion, Marv, because you was there or whatnot. But even if he didn't beat him out, you still needed help. So I would love to ask Will McClay, like, what was the thought there? I think the thought possibly could have been, hey, we want to cut him and get him back on the practice
and then
squad.
Grab him back.
Right.
Yeah,
but he was, I don't think
he got pissed.
Right. I think he was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go to Cincinnati. If y'all wanted me, y'all would have kept me.
And then Cincinnati played him the same way, too.
And he didn't play on Cincinnati. Yeah. So, I don't know why they did that. I would have just kept his ass, but I think they was just trying to get him on the practice squad. If they felt that way, if he truly beat out Mazi, bro, I don't think they would have cut him. But they did bring in 2 other defensive tackles.
I'm not trying to favoritism, Scott. I'm gonna tell you, bro. I was at the practice.
Oh, somebody in the chat just said Nate Newton said it too. So that is if Nate Newton mentioned that he beat out Mazi, bro. That's very concerning that you would cut that man.
Too. Remember I came on your show?
Yeah, I remember when you was coming on here talking about it for sure.
Yeah. And they could, and then in the game, just seeing the game, because what I do like you. I'm gonna stay focused on Roger. Wasn't getting moved. They couldn't move.
I was shocked, brother. I was surprised they cut him. I did not see that coming.
That tripped me out. So these niggas doing this again. And you gotta remember, even though with Bohanna and the big white boy we had, all them dudes they played good. And for some reason they kept cutting these guys and keeping the sorry guards. Remember? They kept, I'm gonna keep this guard, and the guard is not even on the team no more. And then everybody got our big team. They D-tackle already been solved, but they kept keeping the third string guards and fourth. Look at what these guys was doing. So they was messing up, man. So I hope, like you say, White, your boy Whiteside gonna make sure the way he played.
White guy,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I hope he can help Mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this, man. White Cotton's a breath of fresh air. Not that Captain America wasn't last year. Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
What was his name? Coach Zanina. Like Coach Zanina's a no nonsense guy as well. Like, don't get me wrong, but the whole problem with that staff, for real, and we talked about this on last year's shows, was, man, you're bringing in Mike Zimmer to for 1 year, for 6 months. Like, you're not really giving him a chance to develop and implement anything. So, we just was hoping and praying for the best there, and the injuries happened and it just didn't work out. But with White Cotton, I don't think he's going to look in this room and have any, as you call it, favoritism. With Flus, I don't think he's going to look in this room and have any favoritism. If it's Akeem Basote, if it's Justin Rogers, Day Toia, whoever it is, if they beating out whoever, I think they're going to play and be on this team, man. Because these guys are trying to establish a new, and I don't want to use the buzzword culture or whatever, but they are trying to establish that new philosophy and mentality and standard amongst this current regime. And they're not forced to be like, oh, all right, man, we got to do this in 6 months, right? They're trying to set a standard for the next 4 years, however long that contract is for this staff. And
that's why I think this is going to help us now. Because like you say, we finally, Our coaches said 4 years, and only way they gonna get taken if they become a head coach or get, you know what I'm saying, or somebody pay them to be a big, jump to another level. That's the only way you lose them. Other than that, they here. And I like the whole setup they got all over the team. But like you say, the D tackle, that's what is going to come down. Who may the best man win? Our 3-tech is set.
Yeah, 3-tech.
3-tech is perfect. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Actually,
the D ends is set.
To further go in on that, I actually love how it's set up. Osa's your dude, right? He's the dude for the next 4 or 5 years that can move the needle a little bit from that position. Then you have the veteran backup who can help him in regards to not having to play so many snaps. Then you got a developmental guy in Tommy Akingbasotse, who can kind of develop and possibly be the guy that takes over for a Solomon Thomas. So I like how they kind of got that lined up. And if it doesn't work out with Tommy, cool, you get another 3-tech. But
there you go.
But 1-tech is where it's like, all right, we got to figure this thing out. I think Toia is a guy they hope is here for the foreseeable future, but it's Mazi that is the linchpin to me. If they don't go out and improve it in trade market or free agency, Mazi has to not just be like, oh, he's a serviceable guy. Nah, if this defense wants to be where it needs to be, he has to be a dude, man.
Yeah, because at UCLA, because I'm in LA. I live right here, and I'm always on the campus because I do a lot of promo and stuff there. And I know some of the players there, and they say, man, they know I'm a Cowboys fan. They like, man, big boy cold-blooded, more. I said, I heard. I said, he should have got, I thought he was going to get in the 3rd or 4th round, right? They say, yeah. But he got to the 7th. It is what it is. So he just, like you say, like Vosh, they get that peanut butter on him. He's 340. You just got to get that man strength. So we could, that's why like you say, Mazi. Mazi is the key. If Mazi don't do it, go get that D tackle because you don't want to rush them young boys. Let them about a 7 or 8 game. Then we like, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you say, let that boy build. Don't try to put that pressure on them boy. If Mazi come through and act like he want to play, then we good. But if he's playing like he don't want to play, you got to get rid of him. We don't want no simp.
I feel you, Mar.
No simps.
That's real. I appreciate the call, Mar. Thanks for getting up this early
man.
On the West Coast.
Still, let me ask you a question. When I'm about to do my show, hey, what you use? Like when you go live, you use Streamline?
Yes, sir.
That's what you use?
Yes, sir.
You got to pay for that too, right?
Not necessarily. They have I think they have a pay option. Like if you want to get like I think premium or whatever it's called, but yeah, you don't have to.
Do you pay for yours? I ain't trying to get in your business.
No, I don't really need because I don't use what. So I think you have to pay for their. They have like a set of overlays, scenes, alerts, and all this other stuff. I don't use their stuff. So when it comes to their actual things in their store, so I don't need to use it. But if you want to use it, then yeah, you got to pay for that.
That's like $34. But do most of the people use that, or do they? Use what line you use?
I think most people are using StreamYard. Yeah.
StreamYard. That's what I'm talking about. You got to pay for that, but it's free.
Yeah, you got to pay for that. Yeah, it's free. You can. It's free. You can go in there free, but there are other things you gotta if you want to maximize
but
it.
If you want to be more professional, it's best to pay for it.
Probably. Yeah.
It's like $34. It's like $34 a month. But you don't use that. What you use?
No, sir. Streamlabs, and then I do some other finessing. But hit me up, either email me or hit me on Twitter. A lot of people or Instagram.
Email?
Skywalker still at Gmail. I get a lot of people hit me up asking me, and I always help them out in that way.
Skywalker still at Gmail, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna text you. I'll see my number, and we'll go from there. Skywalker still. Yeah.
StreamYard, Backyard, Side Street, OKC, and 4. Shouts out to you, Marv. Appreciate you.
I just want to make sure. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My man Marv said, Coach Aaron Whiteboy. It's white cotton, Marv. White cotton. Yeah, I mean, I'm dead serious. Actually, I've been talking to a number of different people over the last few days. If you have, questions, if you're looking to get into the streaming game on like the house, I have no problem. I know I said this years ago. Hey man, I'm gonna make a class and things like that. Just time is not. I didn't realize how much time you'd have to put into that, but I do want to do it. T. Jax, he did say I'm gonna text you. Anybody that was watching the Vosh and Boy live show when me and Vosh was rocking for 2 years or whatever it was over there with the volume. One of my favorite episodes, man, is when we were trying to get Marv to say some names or whatever. And we said, Marv, go look it up, man. And this man said, all right, hold on real quick. Let me open up my Gmail. The hell you need to open your Gmail up for, Marv? I said, Marv, here's my email. All right, cool. I'm going to text you. Yo. Hey, Marv, let me send you the StreamYard link. Bet, what's your Skype? Who the hell you? All right, Marv. What you going to ask me for my MySpace next? Shouts out to Magic City. Hey, Special K, you remember that shit? Marv was like, let me look it up, bro, because let me check my Gmail. I was befuddled. What is he checking his Gmail for? Classic, man. All right, seriously, one more. Somebody snuck up in here. 603, what it is, what it do?
Hey, Will Still. Hey, man, look, man. I got a question for you.
Sure, that's what it's for.
You remember Tyrone Crawford? You remember Tyrone Crawford, right?
Yes, I do.
He was a defensive end. that they moved inside.
Snip, snap.
They moved him in. I think they're going to do the same thing to Marshawn Nealon. And here's why. The first answer you ask him about Marshawn Nealon, the first thing you talk about is his run-stopping ability. Don't be surprised if they do that, man. To get the easy kid on the field sooner. Don't be surprised if they pull that.
Well, let me say this.
And I think that'll be Roy. This is Roy.
Let me save you, Roy. I'm about to say you sound familiar as hell. I just don't got you saved here. Let me see here.
Right.
Let me save you, Roy. Roy Williams?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Roy, come on, man. Roy, you be up in this ain't Roy Williams that we traded our first round pick for.
I'm the original mold, man.
He the
I'm
other
not the
Roy.
football player.
Yeah,
I'm the original.
Yeah. Roy be in the chat.
Yeah.
Roy be in the chat. My bad, bro.
Yeah.
Let me say this because I hear what you're saying, but man, that would be interesting to say the least. Here's why I don't know that will happen here, because you have Osa, you have Solomon Thomas, and you have Tommy Akingbasokwe.
Right.
Like those three guys can play the 3-tech. Actually, that they're just molded to be the 3-tech, right? What I think they'll do with the Nealon is on NASCAR packages. Like when it's pass rush, they'll slide him in.
Right.
And he'll do some pass rush things. But with Tyrone Crawford, he moved in full time. He wasn't just like, oh, we're going to move him in there on NASCAR. Like, 1 year he was DE, 1 year he was DT. So you think that they'll move.
Right.
You think they'll tell Marshawn Nealon, who goes what, y'all, like 265 or so, 270 maybe? He would have to probably put on another, 15 pounds or so? And you think he'll be full-time 3-tech?
I do. You know why? Because I don't trust this yo-yoing with the one, with the D tackle room. Our D tackle room was really a joke, man. Yeah, we got 2 rookies coming in. It's a joke. Osa and a question, a big question mark about Mazi. I mean,
yeah, but
it's just too much of a joke at that defensive tackle room. It's just too much of a joke.
When it comes to Nealon, and you talk about the run game, I think he definitely can be a traditional left, strong side defensive end that mans the edge very well, right, and plays the run well. But that's different than playing full time. So we talk about for instance,
exactly.
For instance, our guy, well, I don't call him our guy no more. He ain't here no more, right? But Tank Lawrence, phenomenal defensive end against the run. But you put his ass at defensive tackle full time, that's a totally different story. So
let's see. But all right, here's the thing, Will. How are they going to get the easy kid on the field? They didn't draft that. Remember what Will McClary is? What he says. What does he say? He says, if we pick him, we got to play him.
For facts.
So where's it? Where that kid's got is. So that's what he says.
Let me address that. Go listen to Aaron Whitecotton. Aaron Whitecotton is very big on deploying a rotation, deploying a wave of rushers, and not just rushers, man, players. He said this verbatim: if you play the game the right way, it's impossible for these players to play 90 snaps a game. You need guys to come in waves and rotate. So what I think is going to happen is that these guys are going to rotate, and Eazy-E is going to get in there. And now what Eazy-E could potentially do, I think he will, 100%. I think he already comes in and I think he has a better bag as a rusher than your other 2 second-round defensive end guys. So I think he'll definitely be part of this rotation. But how well he plays will determine where in that rotation he will be. Does he jump Nealon and pass? Does he jump Sam and pass? That I think will happen. But I think he's going to play, bro.
All right, man. And here's the thing. I hope that these coaches, particularly White Cotton, can have full control of the defensive line. Let him get his players in, man. It's just too much politics coming from up above the coaching staff, particularly with Will McClay and Stephen Jones, man, because that's why we've lost so many, Ridgeway and Big Bo, and I mean we've gone through defensive tackle 3D, and it's really politics. It's really politics.
Hey, look, I ain't gonna argue with you.
Disrespect. I really think they have total disrespect for the defensive tackle position. Period. I really do. They don't respect the position.
Bro, they drafted one defensive tackle that was over 310 pounds or whatever it was, whatever Bohanna was. They drafted one guy in 20 years, 21 years. I think 2000 might have been the last time they drafted a big guy. And period. It was Bohanna. And then obviously they've drafted one in the first round for the first time since Russell Maryland. So yeah, they definitely
and that was Mazi.
It was Mazi, right? So yeah, they definitely don't value it as much. I'm hoping that I'll say this in your worry about the defensive line and defensive coaches having say. I do think with Eberflus here and White Cotton, I do think they won't be hands on, if that makes sense. Because think about it.
Yeah.
The way we'll know this is Mazi, but he's like the only one. If Mazi Smith's the only guy they can play politics with, and I don't know if White Cotton and Flus are gonna let that slide. Or I'll say this, Flus. Because Flus, Zimmer had juice being here in Dallas, right? He was here before you thought he had juice. But Zimmer was on a 1-year deal, and it felt like they were punting this year to keep it a bean. And him and McCarthy weren't on the same page. This entire coaching staff is aligned, man. And I just feel like if Flus says he doesn't believe in Akeem Basote or Mazi or whoever, and White Cotton says he doesn't believe in it, and Coach Schottenheimer says, hey, man, this isn't it, I feel like they collectively might be able to say, all right, look, man, I know you love Mazi, or not love, but I know he was your first-round pick, but we have to improve. Because think about it. They could have just said, we love our guys with Jalen Tolbert and didn't go trade for They could have said, we love our guy in what's the offensive guard's name? Hoffman, and not draft an offensive guard. So you just hope they kind of follow that same mode and they don't play politics.
I hope so. I hope so, Will. Yeah. I mean, I remember during training camp last summer how they had to coddle Mazi Smith and Zendayo, that defensive line coach, Zendayo, whatever his name was, that they had under Zimmer. I mean, he had to, and Mazi played better, man. Yeah, he played better, man. But it was just, you had to coddle him, man. You gotta. I mean, what's his temperature today? What's his temperature tomorrow? What's his temperature game to game, man? I can't get with that, man.
Like I said earlier, Roy, there's an analogy I made for wrestling, man. I feel like he lost his smile, right? I think he might have lost that. Yeah. If some people question whether he had the passion for the game, but I know he lost it in year 1 and he was trying to get it back in year 2. Yeah. So, if he plays with that passion and he attacks it like that, I think he can be a part of this rotation, obviously. But I'm looking for a little bit more than just, hey, man, this is just a guy. Like, we need him to be a dude. We need Mazi to be a dude.
Yeah, definitely. I'm hoping for him, man. But I just want them to bring some veteran, a couple of veteran DTs in, man. 1 tech, 3 tech, don't matter, man. Just get us some size in the middle, man. Because we being set up, man, to be run through like a train down the tracks, man. We set up, man, for that, to be run through like a hot knife through butter. Telling you. Yeah.
Hey, good call, Roy. Good call.
I'll see you, Steve.
Thought provoking.
All right, my man.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
my man. Talk to you, man. All right.
I see what Roy's looking for improvements in there. I don't know if necessarily. I don't think we have a Tyrone Crawford. If anybody would be Tyrone Crawford, it'd be Solomon Thomas. All right. They're roughly around the same size too, right? Like I think Crawford won like 6'5", 2 floated between 280 something, 300. Solomon Thomas, who is yoked, is roughly 295. I know a collective. I said 250. They have him listed at 256. He might have came in that way. He ain't 256 or more. But the point remains. He's an undersized 3-tech that can moonlight outside as a defensive end. So I think he's more Tyrone Crawford than Nealon, but on passing downs, I can see them moving Nealon in if they want to do like a NASCAR package, like full blown pass rushy guys without compromising too much inside. I think you could roll Solomon Thomas, Nealon on the interior. I would prefer Osa, but we're talking about defense end types, and then Dante Fowler, Micah Parsons, or if you want to get real jazzy with the pass rush, you throw Sam Williams in there over Solomon Thomas. But yeah, I definitely think they're going to rotate these guys. All right, I lied. Somebody snuck in here, but I just locked the conference. 832. What it is, what it do?
Yeah, brother, it's my first time talking to you, Brother Steele. It's Dr. C. I'm in Houston now. I moved from California. I listen to you, Vaj, over the years. I normally talk to Law more, but, man, you guys do a great job. So, anyway, I got a couple of points. One thing is, for me, I'm very excited. When was the last time we as Cowboys fans were stoked about the coaches? Just put that in perspective. Not the players, the coaches. Think back since, the dawn of our main coach, Jimmy, getting fired after winning 2 Super Bowls. That's another discussion. But put this in perspective. We got coaches this year. Think about what Schottenheimer has done. A lot of people look down. I looked a little funny when they hired Schottenheimer. But then when I looked at all of his assistants, even keeping Lunda Wells, I'm like, White Cotton? That man bring the dog out of people if you got dog. Now, he ain't going to put no dog in you. Guy with the offensive line in Arizona. The last thing I'm going to say, I'm not saying we don't need more help with the one tech, but, man, if we got any dog from Mazi to this boy Tuia, and the ones that we got, they're going to bring it out of them. Secondly, I'm so excited that I can't wait to get to this season just to see us compete, man, especially with them big games. You know how over the years, like when we played Denver about 4 years ago, we just had a colossal collapse? Even with Arizona, man. It's like, what in the world are we doing? Even in the playoff game when we wet the pants against Green Bay, this coaching staff will not allow us to put on the field the mess that a lot of the coaching staffs have put on the field over the years in major games, and we sitting up here looking like a college team, not knowing what in the world we're doing. The last thing I'm going to say, coming, I'm like, man, for the break in our armor, our drafting has been, I'm going to say A to A+ since we got Will McClay. Very good.
Yeah. Good drafting team, yeah.
Yes, the breakdown has been when they get to the team, man, and get under these coaching staffs that just be doing all kind of stuff, from the McCarthys to, and I'm not saying they weren't good, but they weren't Cowboy good. See, that's the difference, man. You can't come to Dallas with this mediocre stuff. You got to be slightly a tone setter, a trendsetter in coaching. So I'm excited. And lastly, Vegas got us winning 7 games this year. I'm like, 7 games?
Yeah, take the over.
Anybody listen, better bet the over and make them a little money. If you know anything, I'm the guy in the barbershop in Houston, Texas, where all the other teams listen to. You know why still? I know my stuff. I don't just talk like a man.
You sound like it.
Yeah, I listen to you all. I don't do all the research you all do. You guys are my research. I'm going to be straight. I'll sit back, and listen. I don't watch a bunch of stuff with draft, but I listen to you all and Vaj and Broaders. So, man, I'm just excited. I really appreciate what you brothers are doing. I'm watching you all climb the ladder. I'm see what's happening to Vaj. I see how he's opening the door. So I'm just saying, man, I'm watching the whole thing from, you know, us being the people, you guys climbing the ladder, and us finally having something to say when we're out in public about the season coming up. Some kind of excitement. We got Carl Pickens. Real. Again, I ain't saying we're going to the Super Bowl, but we gonna fight. I might not say his name right, but the receiver that we just got.
I know, George Pickens. Carl Pickens, that's a name right there, bro. That's a name.
Thank you, brother. I'm sorry. Thank you for the correction.
That's an OG. That's an OG name right there.
Exactly. So I'm just saying, and man, our defensive line, just think about it. We was already rich at DE. Well, because of what we got with Donovan and EZ this year, I feel we've gotten richer. Them 3 picks we got in the first 3 rounds was all arguably first-round picks. So it's the little things, man, that matter. Yeah. So anyway, I'm excited just to see, but I know we're going to win more than 7 games this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not one to predict records in May, but that one, look, only way you don't win 7 is if your quarterback gets hurt. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it. And it's very possible, but I mean, they banking on him getting hurt because 7 games with Dak healthy. I don't care if you got James Washington out there. You're going to win more than 7. But yeah, man, right. Good call. I almost called you Carl because you brought up Carl. What's your name, sir?
I know. Dr. C, brother.
Dr. C. Let me put you in here. Good call, Dr. C. And then feel free to call in some more, Dr. C.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. You have a great day.
You as well. I will say this about the excitement with the coaches. I feel that same way. I feel the same way. Again, that doesn't mean it's going to translate because you get a lot of people who get mad at you. You know, you're happy or excited about something. They want you to be always either be upset or they always want you to be happy or excited. But sometimes you just in the moment things feel good. And look, you guys know I like Shoddy as an assistant. And you know, when his name got brought up, I was like, hey, I don't think this is be careful dismissing this because he gonna win that room, and he did. And to me, it didn't become being upset with Shoddy. It was okay. What's really important is how does he fill out the staff, and they've hit that out the park. You can't deny that. I mean, and I know a lot of fans aren't going to look at coaching staffs like, who cares, right? What about the players and who you're bringing in, drafting, and I get that. But from just a pure coaching staff standpoint, yeah, they get me fired up, man. Aaron White Cotton, his resume speaks for itself over there in New York. Clayton Adams speaks for itself. Connor Riley speaks for itself. What's guy with about Shoddy? Fair. Okay, but Shoddy is smart enough to know he's not the smartest man in the room, and let me bring in other people. There's no ego because how can he have one? He's never been a head coach. He hasn't been a hot shot coordinator in over a decade. He got like one opportunity at that 12 or so years ago. And this is another reason why I know that energy. I mean, Steven talked about it, but Will McClay coming out saying, man, it's really nice when everybody's on the same page. He'll never publicly say, hey, man, this guy wanted this and he wanted that. And we're aligned. It's really nice. It's really nice. So, yeah, they got me fired up, but obviously they have to continue to add. I think this room is a part of adding, and they have to go out there and prove it. But ain't nothing wrong with being excited about the guys they hired and then waiting to see if that can translate once we get to camp, preseason, obviously the season. Yeah, Toxic's right. You have no idea how smart that makes you to listen to people who know more than you. Point blank, period, man. All right, let's get to these supers real quick. We'll start with the 2 that just came in, man. Toxic dropped 2.
Super chat.
Toxic said, why did Mike hire Shoddy to not listen to him? You know, I would love for somebody to ask Mike that question now that he's not on the team. But if I had to guess, you know, he and his pops had a relationship that I think when Mike came into the league, correct me if I'm wrong here, I want to say he started in Kansas City under Shoddy. I think it was Kansas City. under the other Schottenheimer. So there was that connection. Man. So I think that could be why. Because other than that, Toxic, there's no connection to the scheme. They don't come from the same tree. Like what Shotty wants to do is not West Coast, or at that point in time, right? Coming from Seattle in his previous years, isn't West Coast offensive. That wasn't it. But he definitely did. I don't think he listened to him enough. Dr. C, B dropped 2 in the chat.
Super chat.
And said, where the barbershop at? He's in the H. So Dr. C, if you're in the chat, I don't know if he said he's a barber though, but let him know where to go for the barbershop. Edgar, it's Skywalker still at Gmail. It should be in my description, but if not, my bad. All right.
Super chat.
Appreciate you, Dro. Dro dropped 2 and said, what about Raekwon Davis, free agent 6'7", 325? I looked into Raekwon 2 years ago, I think it was, when we were doing our free agent. What show was that? I think we did a free agency primer, and we talked about like Cap Boy criteria, and Raekwon was one of the guys. I think he was still in Miami at the time, or he was just leaving Miami, or whatever it was. So, he was somebody I was interested in the sense of I had to look at it from Cap Boy criteria, right? Cap Boy criteria isn't always the best player. It's the guy that fits under what Stephen Jones wants to do. But when you really dive into Raekwon Davis, it's like, he's not really gonna, you know what I mean? He's not really gonna move that needle either. But I mean, if you want to bring him in to give more competition and depth, fine, because I'm looking for more competition, y'all. That's just like I need more competition in this room to make sure these guys are being pushed to their best of their abilities. But I would prefer the other guy that I talked about. Now again, I have to go back and watch Raekwon in Indianapolis, but from what I remember, from when I looked at him from, I think it was Miami, there were things there. I'm not saying that Uwazurike and Raekwon Davis are just massive gap. I just, really like what I saw in a small sample size from this kid. I say kid, dude, grown ass man. He's 6 years in college, came in, he's about 27, 28 now. Shouts out to my guy, Matt.
Super chat.
Matt Lennox dropped 5 and said, much love and respect to 2 of the best in the business. I'm inspired by both of you. Salute. Oh, my bad. That was actually from 2i show. Speaking of which, look for that tomorrow. Should be dropping. Appreciate you, Matt. But he did drop 5. I'm going down way too far. And he said, what do you think about, what the heck? Both of y'all asked me about Raekwon Davis. He said, I agree about Tommy and King Basote. He has traits to work with. Really like him and Jay Toia. So, yeah, y'all know my thoughts on Raekwon. I mean, sure, let's bring him in. But the free agency list is very scarce. Very, very scarce. Jake dropped 2.
Super chat.
He said, how do I become a member? I can't find it. So if you're looking on your phone, Jake, you won't find it. I thought I did a screen grab of how to become a member, but you won't find it on your phone. You have to go online, and then once you go online, on the website, iPad, whatever, you'll see it right under the icon and whatnot. Be right there. But appreciate you. Adam dropped 2. He said, Sky, what about Peyton Turner? Can he play 3-tech? So again, I'm not necessarily looking for more undersized 3-techs, y'all. I think Osa, Solomon Thomas are a fine 1-2 punch at 3-tech. Now, if you want to say, can he push the Tommy and King Basote? Possibly, but what Peyton Turner go about 280, y'all? Because he would be considered an undersized 3-tech, right? Like, I think he go about roughly 280, not even 269, 270. So I'm good on that one. I'm good on moving Peyton Turner inside. I think he needs to be able to compete to be kind of your edge setting left defensive end guy. But I get what everybody's trying to do. We're trying to find any answer possible. I just don't know that would be it. Get right or get left. Well, that's a cool little
super chat.
YouTube name. He dropped 5 and said, for the building fund and your continued ascension in these YouTube streets, sincerely, Marcus Hardison, peace and blessings to you and your. Wait. That's Marcus Hardison? Hey, bro, it's been a while since we heard from you, man. If that's really you, appreciate you dropping in, showing some love. Please come on back, man. If y'all don't know Marcus Hardison, over on the Vashenbari Live show we used to do, he would give us these inspiring quotes on the way out, man. Was a great caller, great subscriber. Appreciate you. JC Cowboys Network, appreciate you. He dropped 5 and said, my guy, keep up the great work.
Super chat.
You as well, sir. You know, found your niche in this thing with the film. You guys are looking for some quality, like film breakdowns in the sense of they're unique and different. JC Cowboys Network got you covered over there, man. And then we got B and Toxic Tom who dropped it too, so appreciate y'all. So thank you guys for jumping in here. Cowboy Tone, drop one before we get out of here.
Super chat.
He said, yo, what up, Sky? Jumping in late, watching from the beginning, but had to turn on what SOS band after hearing that Will Smith intro. Keep up the good work, fam. Yeah, like I said at the start of this thing, man, in PA, we're not getting spring weather. So I said, let me bring in the spring summer vibe with Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Very underrated song, man. Very underrated song. With that said, Cowboys Nation, let me get into the chat. Talk to y'all for a little bit before I get up out of here. I got some other work I got to do. I do. You know what? 2i just hit me. She probably want to ask me about some questions. I think there's going to be okay, it hasn't happened yet. Press conference before practice. So we'll tune into that. We do have OTA practice open to the media today. So we'll be recapping that later on the Collective, Cowboys Collective. Please go follow that channel. I'm telling you right now, once we get towards training camp and then obviously in the season, that thing is going to take off. So make sure I go follow that. Shouts out to, Law Nation, John Machota, Foots the King over there. And then tomorrow, like I said, 2i and I, the Sky and 2i show will be back for episode 2. If all works out, that's going to be a consistent thing too every week in the season. So I'm so excited for that. She is phenomenal what she does, and make sure y'all support her too over on her channel. And I believe she's doing a show with the Texans too. So she's out here. She working. She working. Greg said that King Basote is listed. Yep, 6'4", roughly 306. But yeah, he's your prototypical 3-tech. Like that. He fits. I get it, right? Flus and White Cotton, I totally get why they selected him in that round. I can see the vision. Appreciate you, Sin City. Best morning show. What did he say? Best morning show. Continue to grind, folks. Thank you. Dro said, why we never went after Larry O. He played for Denver, or he played for every team in the AFC North. You talking about Obed? I can't pronounce his last name. I think I know who you're talking about, though. CeeLo said, I'm not super optimistic on Solomon. CeeLo, let me say this. I think it might depend on how you're looking at him. You know what I mean? Like, if you're looking at Solomon Thomas, again, to move the needle alone, I can see the pessimistic view on him. But if you're looking at him to just literally be a backup to Osa, a guy who can be an Eric Kendricks type where, okay, you're bringing in a new scheme or at least a new mentality, a new standard up front. He can be the guy to bridge that gap. I think it's a lot to like about. And then just who he is as a player, he plays with his hair on fire. He has that twitch ability if you utilize him as a pass rusher. But if you're looking at him to be a run stopper, no. He is purely a pass rush backup offensive tackle that is a high energy, high effort guy that can, track down, run down backside plays and what have you. But I do think it depends how you're looking at him, Silos. Shouts out to Ratio. He said, Toia, the bowling ball. Yeah, man. I'm really trying not to put, unrealistic expectations on Jay Toia, but I think he has staying power. And I'm definitely not going to do him and Tommy Aking-Basote wrong here and put so many expectations on early. They can't just lean on this kid, man. he can't be playing 65, 70% of the snaps. You get him in there 25% of the time, obvious rundowns, goal line. I think he can help you early on as he's continuing to develop. Oh, T-Jack said it is on your phone. Huh. I thought you couldn't join on the phone. Yes, sir. Ride Chop. He said, oh, hell yeah. New sky and 2 eye. Yes, sir. I'm so, y'all don't even understand how hype I am for me and her to continue this. I think her viewpoint on things is unique in this space. Toya. Here's the funny thing about the pronunciation ratio, and shouts out to Kyle Yeomans, who kind of gave us this nugget. I thought it was Jay Toya, but he said the way he pronounced it in the locker room to the media was it's like a soft T, more of a D, Jay Toya. So if you want to put a little twang to it like Petey Green, twang it, it's Jay Toya. I've been calling him Jay Toya. Jay Toya. It's Jay Toya. Got to put a little twang on that thing. Yo, hey, Rico. Solomon Thomas definitely looked like Dak Prescott. That's kind of crazy. Hold on, let me see here if I can pull this up. Hey, dog. Dak Prescott with hair. As you know, he ain't got no hair though. He on his Kobe. Toxic said I can't speak like that. Hey, Dak on said, what you know about Petey? Hey, man, you can't miss shows. Yeah, tell him you can't miss shows. We had a whole Petey Green thing going on. I might bring that back. Mark said, just tuning in, but Toya was a beast in college. Yeah, man, I really like his film. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all send some love to, and I'm sorry if I say this wrong, but Mills forever. He said, having a tough day, but I'm here. Hey, Mills, pull through, bro. Pull through. You got this, man. Hopefully this show can provide some positivity in a tough day. All right. Send some love his way. Hey, I like that. CeeLo said, only way we will learn to pronounce his name right is the ball out. Facts. All right, before I get out of here, if you guys missed the video that I posted, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure y'all watched it, so I ain't gonna spam it in here. But at the start of this show, I talked about how having Matt Eberflus and Aaron Whitecott in the line is a big deal to me. Go watch this video. That video explains why I think it's a big deal and why I do think there is a shift in the very DNA of how they've been doing things defensively. That may not result, and a lot of people, they take these videos I'm doing and they run with it as if I'm saying the Cowboys finna win the Super Bowl or something like that. That's not the case. This staff, I think, is setting a different standard, whether it be defensively or offensively, that they're trying to implement, not just for 2025. This isn't last year, lame duck seasons. You ain't have time to do that. You had to put what was best out there to win because all these guys were on one-year deals. They're trying to set a standard that, yes, you want to see improvement in 2025, and I think you will see in certain aspects, but they're trying to set that for years to come. The best organizations, the most consistent organizations, they do that. They're aligned. They have a standard. They have philosophies that are not snapping every other year. This is what we do. This is how we do it. From the owner, general manager, head coach, offense coordinator, defense coordinator, special team. Now tell me, when's the last time that has been aligned? One band, one sound. One band, one sound. Let me get up out of here. Flight of the Bumblebee. Hey, do me a favor, hit that like button on your way out if you enjoyed today's show. Subscribe if you're new. I know we broke this thing up into 2 bars, but appreciate y'all for coming on back, man. If you missed it, run back both of these. Really good stuff. Great calls. Y'all were great in the chat. I'll see y'all later tonight. Cowboys Collective. Make sure y'all tune in. I'm out of here. Peace. I should have did this right here.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
One more time. Hey, this is low-key a vibe, man. That's why I can't get rid of this outro. It's low-key a vibe. Hey man, who live? Let's see. I love what Vox does. Nobody live. All right. Here's the video if you missed it.